Imagine waking up in a world where the line between reality and fantasy doesn't just blur, it disappears. Your home isn't a house, it's a virtual mansion perched on a cliff overlooking a glittering ocean. Your job? A thrilling adventure where you slay dragons, solve mysteries, or negotiate intergalactic treaties. Everything you see, hear, and feel is so real, you forget it's all happening inside a headset. Could virtual reality become so advanced that we choose to live entirely inside it? And if so, what would that mean for humanity?
Imagine a life where reality bends, where fantasy starts and the real world ends. A virtual mansion, a digital shore, a life redefined like never before. Welcome to Digital, let's dive inside, where VR and reality seamlessly collide. Could we live in a headset, let the real world go, or find a balance? Let's explore and know, yeah.
Welcome back to Did You Know? If you're new here, this is the channel where we dive into the what-ifs that reimagine life as we know it. Today, we're entering the immersive world of virtual reality to explore its future, and whether it could become more than just a tool for gaming and entertainment. Stick around, because this question could reshape how we define reality itself. Let's start with where we are now. Today's VR technology is impressive, but it's still in its infancy. Headsets like the Meta Quest or the PlayStation VR offer immersive gaming and social experiences, but they're far from seamless. However, advances in haptic feedback, AI, and neural interfaces could change everything. Imagine a VR system that doesn't just trick your eyes and ears, but engages all your senses. Touch, taste, even smell. You could run your fingers over virtual grass, feel the warmth of a simulated sun, or savor a meal that exists only in code. Now let's take it a step further. What if VR could tap directly into your brain? Scientists are already experimenting with brain-computer interfaces that allow users to control devices with their thoughts. In the future, these technologies could create fully immersive experiences where your mind interacts with the virtual world as naturally as it does with reality. Picture controlling your avatar just by thinking about walking or picking up an object. No controllers, no lag, just pure immersion. But here's the big question. Would people choose to live entirely in VR? Imagine a world where you can design your perfect life, a dream job, ideal relationships, and endless adventures. Why face the challenges of the real world when you can escape to a digital utopia? For some, VR could offer a way to overcome limitations, whether it's a disability, a lack of opportunities, or just the monotony of everyday life. But for others, it could become an unhealthy escape, a way to avoid reality instead of engaging with it. And then there's the social aspect. Today, VR allows people to connect across the globe, attending virtual concerts, classrooms, or even weddings. But in a future where VR is indistinguishable from real life, how would relationships change? Would we value virtual friendships and romances as much as real ones, or would we lose something essential in the process? Imagine falling in love with someone in a VR world, only to discover that they're completely different in reality. Now let's talk economics. A fully immersive VR world would need its own infrastructure, virtual cities, economies, and marketplaces. Digital real estate is already a thing, with people buying virtual land for millions of dollars. In the future, owning property in a popular VR world could be as valuable as owning a house in a major city. Imagine a world where people earn their living entirely in VR, creating digital art, designing virtual experiences, or even running businesses that exist only in cyberspace. But what about the downsides? Living entirely in VR could have significant physical and psychological impacts. If people spend most of their time in a headset, what happens to their health? Muscle atrophy, eye strain, and mental health issues like addiction or dissociation could become major concerns. Imagine a generation of people so immersed in VR that they struggle to function in the real world. Would we need new systems to remind people to eat, sleep, and take care of their physical bodies? And then there's the ethical dilemma. If VR becomes indistinguishable from reality, who controls it? Imagine a world where corporations or governments own the virtual spaces we live in. Would they charge for basic access, manipulate environments to influence behavior, or use VR as a tool for surveillance? The idea of living in a world where reality is owned by someone else raises serious questions about freedom and autonomy. But here's a twist. Could living in VR actually improve the real world? Imagine using virtual environments to train for complex tasks like performing surgery or piloting spacecraft. Or picture VR simulations that help people overcome trauma, build empathy, or connect with cultures and experiences they'd never encounter otherwise. If used responsibly, VR could enhance our understanding of the real world instead of replacing it. Ultimately, the question isn't just whether we could live in VR, but whether we should. A fully immersive digital life offers incredible possibilities but also profound risks. The choice might not be between reality and VR, but finding a balance that lets us enjoy the best of both worlds. So, what do you think? Could you see yourself living entirely in VR? Or does the idea feel more like a nightmare than a dream? Let us know in the comments below. And don't miss our next episode, where we explore a fascinating mix of nostalgia and AI. AI in pop culture, reimagining our favorite movies and shows. Could machines bring back iconic characters or create entirely new stories? Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Did You Know?
Imagine AI reshaping the showbiz scene, recreating legends, places we've been. A Godfather sequel, Marlon Brando restored, or a Friends reboot, what tales are in store?
Welcome to Did You Know, where dreams take flight, with AI crafting stories, both day and night. Could this be pop culture's ultimate redo? Or will we miss the spark that makes it true? No.
Imagine AI reshaping the showbiz scene, recreating legends, places we've been. A Godfather sequel, Marlon Brando restored, or a Friends reboot, what tales are in store?